Hello everyone! Today we are going to learn about REDD Plus strategy. I am Macy Canilius, your presenter for this said topic. The main cause of global warming is deforestation. And how is it? Because when forests are cut, burned, and converted to land due to population growth, the carbon stored in the forest vegetation and root structures are released as carbon dioxide and other greenhouse gases. So it was agreed in United Nations Convention on Climate Change to add the REDD as a strategy to mitigate the said emissions. So what is REDD? It means reducing emissions from deforestation and degradation. This incentivizes the developing countries either to reduce or increase removal of carbon dioxide from the atmosphere by forest land management. This is also a set of actions, principles for giving financial encouragement to countries to protect their forests. There is this also called carbon market, in which greenhouse emission reductions are traded in a form of carbon credit. So carbon markets can be voluntary or compliance, where carbon credits are traded to meet regulated emissions. So the fund there is used to incentivize the developing countries and its foresters implementing the best management and practices to protect their forest. And in 2007, the REDD evolves to REDD Plus, which is often used to refer to these 5 activities: reduce emission from deforestation and forest degradation, the role of conservation of carbon stocks, sustainable management of forests, and enhancement of forest carbon stocks in developing countries. So, pilot projects have emerged across Southeast Asia, including in the Philippines. According to Yusuf and Francisco in 2009, Philippines is one of the most vulnerable areas for climate change in Southeast Asia, which is true. Very rampant of illegal logging, kaingin, and other forest degradation. So, in this, several NGOs noted the potential of REDD Plus in the Philippines and the need for domestic climate change mitigation actions. And according to the information of CIF in 2010, if we implement the REDD Plus, the potential approximation of carbon dioxide emissions would be in 38,540,000 tons between the year of 2011 to 2013. And in this year as well, civil society organization called the Code REDD Philippines spearheaded consultations, mapping, and capacity building on REDD Plus, since the government had not yet commenced national REDD Plus planning at that time. So, Code REDD Philippines advocates for a pro-community, pro-conservation, and pro-development REDD. This is to empower the community to have social justice, and biodiversity conservation should be part of any REDD Plus process. So, the policy on REDD Plus was embedded or were embedded in the Executive Order number 881 and Climate Change Act of 2009. EO 881 recognized REDD as one of the mechanisms to address climate change and to achieve sustainable forest management. It also identified that the DNR as the operational implementer of REDD+. So what is a Philippine National REDD Plus strategy, or the PNRS? PNRS presents a broad range of strategies which serves as a guide for development of REDD plus activities in the Philippines. It does not focus only on the climate change mitigation, but as well it emphasizes social biodiversity conservation and ecosystem benefits, or the so-called co-benefits, wherein it enhances adaptation to climate change, alleviating poverty, improving local livelihoods, and improving forest governance and protecting rights. So here are the objectives: to ensure sustainable management of forests, to enhance national carbon stocks through forest programs, to provide a research-based enabling environment, to leverage REDD plus resources and projects to deliver social benefits and contribute to poverty alleviation, to establish sustainable financing, to enhance the capability of forest manager and support groups, and lastly, to develop and implement a forest carbon emission reduction measurable, reliable, and verifiable system that engages local manager and its national at its scope. The PNRS is driven by the following core values and associate principles: care for the earth and life in all its diversity, respect for human dignity, which encourages social responsibility to attain social justice, also transparency and accountability, and most especially empowerment through partnership and collaboration. The PNRS assumes a 10-year time horizon from 2010 to 2020. It is divided in three main phases: readiness, scaling up, and engagement. The readiness phase seeks to focus on capacity building, consultation, communication, integration, and reform, and establish national level bodies and carbon accounting establishment sites, provinces, and regions. So, in 2011 to 2016 update on the PNRS, we are still in the readiness phase. So next would be the scaling up phase, seeks to move from the site level to provincial and regional levels to establish new sites, while the engagement phase seeks to implement REDD Plus at the national level and pursue performance-based compensation. So the vision and mission expresses that to enable to sustain and equitably manage forest lands, protected areas, and ancestral domains, empowerment and social responsibility, inculcating social responsibility to the managers and support groups to the community, can impact and enhance carbon stock and reduce greenhouse emission. The PNRS has 7 complementing components: 4 major strategies, which is enabling policy, governance, resource use, allocation, management, measurable, reliable, and verifiable conditions, and the 3 cross-cutting strategies: capacity building and communication, research and development, and sustainable financing. Each component contains a list of proposed strategies and activities in order to enable REDD plus development in the Philippines. There are 9 key features emerged throughout the components and characterize the PNRS. One, it assumes a nested scaling up approach. It prioritizes development areas and, of course, decentralized forest governance because it recognized the need for local government and community engagement to ensure REDD plus operationalization. It focuses also on the roles and responsibilities and benefits of REDD plus to local communities. And participatory planning and multi-stakeholder approaches are needed, intersectoral approach, rigorous carbon accounting, and of course, watershed and natural ecosystem and landscape approaches. So update of the national REDD plus strategy in 2011 to 2016. Here are the different REDD project sites in the national level from Luzon, Visayas, and Mindanao. And as you can see, we have the most number of forest or REDD projects sites, which is good. Finally, how your company can work towards sustainability. So first is to save energy. Opt for energy efficient bulbs and appliances. Switch lights off when not in use. And encourage cycling to work. Set up bike storing facilities in the office. And choose digital to reduce carbon footprints and paper usage. For individual, in saving the trees, use less paper, buy recycled paper products, go for cloth products over paper when possible, look for volunteer opportunities to protect trees, spread the word about the trees on social media, and of course, plant trees. And that would be all. Thank you for your time. God bless us all.